Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my Quotes, Ruminations, and Contemplations video newsletter. So, today, the topic, seeing as though we're starting a brand new year, today is the first Monday in a brand new year. The topic of today's video is going to be self motivation. So, a lot of people around this time of the year usually start their New Year's resolutions, and I think statistically, by the 7th or 8th of the month, I think it is, it's something like 80-90% of the people have already given up and stopped focusing on their New Year's resolutions. And you wonder, well, why is that? Why is it a small percentage of people start a New Year's resolution, or actually make a New Year's resolution, but actually follow through with it throughout the whole entire year? Well, very few of them. You wonder, well, why is that? Why do some people do it and some people don't? It boils down to self-motivation. No, as a coach, I can't motivate you. I can't motivate anybody. We have to motivate ourselves. And when you look at from a psychological perspective, if you go all the way back to something that Aristotle talked about, the pain and pleasure principle, which I wrote about in Mastering Yourself, my second book, is that people do more to avoid pain than they do to gain pleasure. And so in order to do things that you know you need to do, but oftentimes you necessarily don't feel like it, like obviously a big New Year's resolution for a lot of people around this time of the year is working out and going to the gym. I'm going to get myself in shape. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Or I'm going to start eating healthier, or whatever it happens to be. If you want to stick with it, you have to have an emotionally compelling reason why you want it. And it goes back to knowing what you want and why you want it, and then having a plan to execute. But it's the why that causes you to do something. It's like if you're choosing to go to college and get a degree in something. Well, why are you doing that? What is the compelling reason to get up early and go to class on most days, and oftentimes listen to a lecture that you're sitting there going, what the hell do I need this for? How is this going to help me make more money and achieve my grandest goals and dreams? And you have to have an emotionally compelling reason why. Otherwise, you'll go, I'll just sleep in. I'll drop that class. You know what? I don't feel like going to college. And for me personally, when I was in college, it was going to benefit me in that it would help me get into the industry, the construction industry that I wanted to get into, but also make contacts. And I had to learn how to build. If you're building a 100-story building, you need to understand statics and strength of materials and physics and be good at math. In other words, be good at complicated thinking. So from that perspective, I had an emotionally compelling reason why I would get up and go take a lot of classes that I didn't really want to, and plus take all the time out of my day because you're paying to go and get a college degree. But for me, at the time, going back 25 years ago now, it was going to increase my ability to earn income another $10,000 a year at the time. So I was motivated to do it. I also wanted to get my general contractor's license. So that was something that was emotionally compelling for me. And it's like the same thing when it comes to working out. It's like being 51, almost 52 now. Why do I keep taking good care of myself? Why do I take the time to make green juice, even though it's a pain in the butt? It takes 45 minutes to an hour to make the juice, to clean up the juicer. Plus, it takes even more time than that to go to the store and shop and pick out all the greens. So it's an incredible amount of time commitment. I don't really enjoy doing it, but I sure enjoy the feeling that I get when I drink the juice. So in other words, I have an emotionally compelling, positive reason why I do it. And so I move towards what feels good, and I move away from what feels bad. Obviously, in this case, we're talking about health. I don't like having brain fog. I don't like my skin being all dry. I don't like my eyes being dry. I don't like not feeling good. I don't like having less energy than I should. So those are the negative reasons why you move away. Remember, we do more to avoid pain than we do to gain pleasure. And so you have to get emotional leverage upon yourself. Because the reality is, in order to accomplish your grandest goals and dreams, you're going to have to do a lot of things that you necessarily don't feel like doing on a consistent, regular basis. And that's why you got to know what you want, and most importantly, you got to know why you want it. It's just like great relationships. When I do phone sessions with guys that are struggling in their long-term relationships, it's always one of two reasons. They stop dating and courting her properly, or they don't communicate with her properly. But if you don't have somebody that sets your soul on fire, if you don't have somebody in your life that you have emotionally compelling reasons why you want to keep them in your life, then at some point you're going to get lazy and you're not going to put your best foot forward because you don't appreciate them. That's why it's important that if you're going to get into a relationship, that you get into a relationship with somebody that sets your soul on fire, that you really like seeing them, you really like listening to them, not just liking having sex with them, but you genuinely enjoy spending time around them. So when they matter to you, when that you care about them, you're going to make the extra effort versus somebody that's just in a mediocre relationship and they settled. What's their motivation to do the little things that communicate they care? The reality is deep down, they really don't care. And because they don't care, they don't make the effort. And since they don't make the effort consistently, it's just like a garden. The plants in your garden, you got to take out the weeds. You got to make sure they get plenty of water and sunlight, but not too much. Also, make sure the ground is fertile that they grow in, and therefore, your garden's going to do well. But if you're lazy and you don't have an emotionally compelling reason to take care of your garden, you're going to let the weeds take over. You're not going to care that if it's not getting enough water or not, and you're not going to care when half or all the stuff in your garden dies. So it's a great metaphor for life. So self-motivation goes back to, why am I doing this? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you watching this video right now? Obviously, if you're watching this video, it's because you want to get better. Now, people that are lazy and mediocre, they're probably watching a goofy, silly video or distracting themselves with a video game or something. But if you're watching this video, it's because you typically are more productive than the people around you and you want to grow beyond them. And as I say a lot, and I also talked about extensively in Mastering Yourself, is that we get paid based upon the value that we bring to the marketplace. And something that should be a great motivator for all of us is to find some kind of life's work that is exciting, compelling, fun, interesting, that we're good at, that we have a passion for, and we love seeing the results by providing some kind of useful product or service, either through a business that you create or going to work for somebody else whose business, products, and services you love, enjoy, appreciate, and are excited about. If you're in sales, you got to have an emotionally compelling reason why you sell that product. That's why it's important to believe in the product or the service that you're selling. Because if you don't, if you're just like, it's a paycheck, your customers are going to be able to sense that. And so in order to be motivated, you have to have positive reasons why you're going to do something, especially when it involves doing things that you really don't want to do. Like back when I was in college, there was a lot of classes I didn't like and I didn't want to take. I didn't feel like getting up. I didn't feel like going to bed early because I knew I had to get up early, but I did it because of the emotion compelling payoff that I had. And so I got emotional leverage upon myself to go to a lot of classes, do a lot of driving, spend countless hours, hundreds and hundreds of hours, probably even thousands of hours in my car driving to and from school because I was commuting oftentimes more than an hour and 20 minutes away to where my classes were, especially if the traffic was bad. And so self-motivation boils down to having an emotion compelling reason and disciplining yourself to do the little things. Like Jocko Willink says all the time, discipline equals freedom. In other words, if you discipline yourself to do the little things you don't feel like doing but that are essential to achieving your grandest goals and dreams, then you'll find a way to do it. And by disciplining yourself day in and day out to do the little things, big things have little beginnings. Big things are the result of doing lots of little things over and over and over again extremely well, day in and day out, week after week, month after month, year after year, decade after decade. So find something that's exciting and compelling some kind of outcome that you're going to achieve someday if you're trying to motivate yourself, something that you can look forward to, something that you can visualize, something that you can daydream about, something that excites you on the inside. Because it's that fire that's burning on the inside that's going to get you to take action, especially when you don't feel like it. And we all know, if you're watching this, you and everybody else, you know, there's lots of things we have to do in life that we necessarily don't feel like doing. I mean, who looks forward to paying their bills or sitting down and writing the checks or going on online banking and setting all these things up? It's not a lot of fun, but we all have to do it, because if we don't pay our bills, they come and take our furniture. So I highly recommend that you check out if you like this kind of video, you'll really love my Quotes, Ruminations, and Contemplations book, my new book that came out this past year. And so the feedback that I've got is everybody says what they love about it is it ties mastering yourself and my first book, 3% Man, together. So you can read all my books for free, always. All you got to do is subscribe to the email newsletter on my website, understandingrelationships.com. And you can read them right in your web browser on whatever web device you happen to log into the website on. And if you'd like to get my help personally, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.